the Golden State Warriors to sign DeMarcus Cousins before the end of the deadline. As you all know, the Golden State Warriors are currently ranked 8th in the Western Conference, and they are looking to add more firepower to this team in order to bring them higher on in the Western Conference, and they are looking to sign DeMarcus Cousins and another free agent. So in today's video, we're going to be going through DeMarcus Cousins and 4 other free agents that the Golden State Warriors can sign before the deadline in order to help this Golden State Warriors team make it into the playoffs and win another NBA championship. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Golden State Warriors content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that red button down below. And if you don't have NBA League Pass but want to watch the Warriors games for less than a cup of coffee, don't forget to join my Patreon where I live stream every Golden State Warriors game so you can watch it anytime, anywhere. But let's get straight into the first free agent, and that first free agent is DeMarcus Cousins. So DeMarcus Cousins, standing at 6'10", 270 pounds. He's pretty much the modern day Shaq, and he has done a fantastic job for Denver last season. However, this season he is currently a free agent. I think picking up DeMarcus Cousins is honestly probably the best decision out of all these free agents, because I do think what DeMarcus Cousins does bring to the table is a lot of different things, and it's something that the Warriors are missing. Now, DeMarcus Cousins did play with the Warriors for 2018 and 2019 season. However, he was injured, a majority of those games, but the games that he did play, he actually averaged 16 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 3.6 assists. If we look at his most recent season as well with Denver, he actually got 8.9 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, and also 1.7 assists. Now, the reason why these stats are really well was due to the fact that he was only getting around 11 minutes of game time per game. And if you didn't remember, the Golden State Warriors actually faced off against Denver during the playoffs last season, and a lot of the players and also Steve Kerr himself mentioned that DeMarcus Cousins was definitely an X factor that had the Warriors struggle in order to beat them. So I do think that the Warriors definitely need someone like DeMarcus Cousins on their roster again. He only did play one season with the Warriors, so I do think he definitely knows the game style, and I think he needs a couple more seasons to really show what he's capable of, especially with this Warriors franchise. What he does on the floor is very, very good. He's very great on offense. His insane inside presence is definitely felt. His three-point shooting has also improved dramatically over the past couple of seasons. His most recent season with Denver, he was actually shooting 3 threes per game and shooting 35%, which was really good. Now add to the fact that you have Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, all these other shooters on the team that can teach DeMarcus Cousins a thing or two, and I definitely can see those numbers even going up to 40% on the three. So I think it would be honestly fantastic for DeMarcus Cousins due to the fact that his offense game is definitely built off what Warriors want, and on top of that, his defense is like no other. He's definitely a big body in the paint, weighing in at 270 pounds, very strong, is able to get up there for the rebounds, and I do think his inside presence when it comes to deflecting shots, when it also comes to interfering or contesting shots, he does a very good job at that as well. So DeMarcus Cousins, there's a reason why he's on the top of the line when it comes to who the Golden State Warriors want to sign in the free agent, and I do think he is definitely the player they should pick up first when it comes to the free agency and before the deadline ends of signing players. The second player is Kyle Kuzma. Now, as you all know, Kuzma currently plays for the Washington Wizards, and he has actually demanded a trade from the Washington Wizards before the deadline. Now, the reason why this is so important is because the Washington Wizards are very desperate to get rid of Kuzma, and they have actually said they are willing to give him up for cash considerations. So it does seem that the Warriors, in order to get someone like Kuzma on the team, they wouldn't actually have to give up too much, maybe a couple of picks, maybe a role player here and there, and some cash considerations, and they could honestly see Kyle Kuzma wearing a Warriors jersey very, very soon. I think this is honestly such a great pickup. Kyle Kuzma stands at 6'9", 221 pounds. He does play the small forward / power forward position, but I do think he really does fit well as that stretch 4. Now, Kuzma so far this season is averaging 21.3 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, and 3.8 assists. We all know what Kyle Kuzma is capable of, and we've seen him given the green light, he is able to score, and I do think this would be a great pickup for the Warriors as you're getting a young, experienced player. When it comes to his actual game, it does speak for itself. Kyle Kuzma is a great three-point shooter. He's currently averaging 8 threes per game and is shooting 35% from the three, so that is very good, and that is definitely something that the Warriors can have on. If you run a pick and pop with Kyle Kuzma and Steph Curry, it's pretty much game over. Steph Curry, if he drives in, has the open lane, he'll be able to get a layup. If they stop him, you got that Kyle Kuzma popping from that popping that three, and it's pretty much Splash City from there. So I do think Kyle Kuzma would honestly fit the Warriors' style of play and what they are trying to build, and he's able to shoot on a consistent basis. If we look at his defense is definitely there. He's able to get boards. He's not just an offensive big. 7.5 rebounds is very good. 6.5 of them so far this season when it comes to his averages are actually from defensive rebounds, and his blocks are pretty good at 0.5 and steals at 0.5 as well. So he does a little bit of everything, which I absolutely love. And although Kyle Kuzma is still a young player, I think it's great to get someone that's still on that rise and is starting to reach near their peak. I think that's when they got Andrew Wiggins as well, just before he started to peak when it comes to his age and maturity, athleticism, all that. And now we see Wiggins turn out to be an all-time beast. So I think they can definitely get that gem in Kyle Kuzma, and I think that would honestly be a recipe for success. And also, with Draymond Green maybe leaving next season, depending on what goes down, you could see Kyle Kuzma running that starting power forward position next season, also in the future. So this pick up would not only just be for the short term, it could also be for the long term as well when it comes to Wiggins, Steph, Clay, Poole, all these players staying, and if Draymond decides to leave. The third player is Hassan Whiteside. So Hassan Whiteside is obviously a big man, and this is something that the Warriors have been looking for some time now, to get another big man in this team. Now Hassan Whiteside stands at 7 foot, 265 pounds. He is very, very long, and he is pretty much a shot blocker. And I think this is something that they definitely need. Kevon Looney has done a fantastic job so far for the Golden State Warriors, and he definitely really helps on the defensive side of things when it comes to that first unit. But when it comes to that second unit, Kevon Looney can't play both, and I think Hassan Whiteside would honestly be the Kevon Looney for that second unit. Great defender, very, very long. Inside presence is all he really has, but it's all he really needs as well. Kevon Looney isn't a shooter or anything like that, but he's still able to give you 10 points, 10 rebounds, those types of stats, and I do think Hassan Whiteside can definitely do that for that second unit. Now his last season was with Utah, where he actually averaged 8.2 points per game, 7.6 rebounds, and also 1.8 blocks per game. So that was honestly insane. If we look at also the minutes played, he was only playing 14 minutes per game, and I do think that was fantastic to see when it comes to what he was capable of and what he's still capable of, especially during this time. So Hassan Whiteside would honestly be a perfect fit for that. The defense that he can provide is definitely something the Warriors need, because as you all know, the Warriors have very much dropped in their defense ever since losing Gary Payton II, Otto Porter, and JTA. If we look at the stats itself, the defensive rating for the Golden State Warriors last season was actually ranked number 1, and this season, guys, they are ranked 20th. So they have dropped quite a bit. The highest they've gotten so far this season was around 15th, so they did reach that average mark, but for them to go all the way from the number 1 position last season all the way down to 20th, they definitely need to make some changes, and defensive changes at that. As the saying goes, defense does win championships, and if they do want to win a championship, they definitely need to add some more defensive depth, and I think Hassan Whiteside could definitely be that guy. He's long, he's big, and he's also very, very strong, and still at the age of 33, he is definitely not, washed up in that sense. A lot of people think that when you start hitting the 30s, that's pretty much your career over. I think Hassan Whiteside, being 33, pretty much younger than Steph Curry as well, he's still able to provide a lot for this team and do it especially for that second unit. The fourth player is Kemba Walker. Now, Kemba Walker is honestly a fantastic player. He recently just got signed to the Dallas Mavericks, however, was let go after the 10-day contract, and he wasn't extended for the rest of the season. However, Golden State Warriors could pick him up, and they could pick up another point guard due to the fact that Stephen Curry has been out for some time now. I think Kemba Walker would honestly be fantastic for this team, because it does seem that Jordan Poole really does well in that 2-spot position, where you have Kemba running the point, then you have Jordan Poole running the 2, and then you have everyone from Kuminga, Dante DiVincenzo, JaMychal Green, all these players running those forward positions. So this is just an analogy, or kind of like an example. Now, Kemba Walker obviously is a point guard, and it's something that the Golden State Warriors aren't really desperate for now, but it may be helping them in the long run, just in case players get injured and they need someone who can bring that star power. Kemba Walker back in the day is an all-out bucket, and he definitely has shown that time and time again. Now, in his most recent season, besides the one with with Dallas, he actually played for the New York Knicks, where he was averaging 11.6 points, 3 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. So I think it's honestly great to get someone like Kemba of his caliber. You know, Kemba is definitely up there when it comes to being a 4-time NBA All-Star, and he was also the 2018-2019 All-NBA team. So I think Kemba Walker definitely has the resume to back it up, and although he is getting a little bit older, he's still got a lot of veteran experience that he can definitely use and still take advantage of when it comes to playing in the NBA. Now, when it comes to the Golden State Warriors, obviously having Steph and Jordan Poole in that point guard position, he may not be getting a lot of minutes. However, to have him maybe run the 2 or maybe just come on if someone gets injured, which is like right now with Steph Curry being injured, you know, he definitely could be that parachute that they need if anything ever falls through. It definitely does seem though when Steph Curry is out, it really does hurt the Warriors and what they are capable of. So I think that's why it may be a good idea to bring someone like Kemba Walker to really help out just in case anything hits the fan, like what's happening right now with the Warriors. And I do think that's one of the reasons why the Warriors, you know, although they've gone on a little great streak, their streak has kind of ended with back-to-back losses due to the fact that Steph Curry was that guy to help close out games. So hopefully they can get that sorted. The 5th player is a fan favorite of Carmelo Anthony. Now, I have mentioned him before, but I do think Carmelo is still a great pick for the Golden State Warriors. He may not provide everything when it comes to defensive ability and being able to block shots. However, his offense definitely speaks for itself. And when it comes to the second unit, if we look at the second unit right now with Jordan Poole, you know, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, JaMychal Green, list really does go on and on. They have a lot of great defense, which is really fantastic, but they really don't have anyone else besides Jordan Poole that's an automatic bucket. And I think that's what Carmelo can definitely bring to this second unit. He can definitely be that guy that they can rely on to give you maybe 10, 15 points every single game and do it on a very consistent basis. Because if Jordan Poole is maybe having an off game, it's really hard for that second unit to score because Kuminga, he isn't really a pure scorer. Dante DiVincenzo is more of a catch and shoot type player, and you know, the list really does go on when it comes to all of these players. So I honestly do think getting someone like Carmelo would be fantastic because that scoring ability that Carmelo has is something that really can't get missed. And the Golden State Warriors wouldn't even have to pay a lot to sign him to the team. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Peace.